Okay, hi everybody. We're going to solve this equation here graphically. This is what it tells us to do here. We're going to round our answer. I'll do that for you in a second here. What I want to do before we get to that though, I want to take a look at this problem and I want to discuss restrictions on the variable here. So first of all, what I'm going to do here to intelligently talk about the restrictions on the variable, I'm going to isolate the radical here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that 8 over, so we'll get negative 3x, I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, so that'll be minus 2 is equal to negative 3 root negative x plus 5. Then I'm going to divide by that negative 3 here. So up front here, this is going to be x plus 2/3 is going to equal the square root of negative x plus 5. Now, to talk about the restrictions on the variable here, this is kind of an odd little thing here. First of all, we take a quick look underneath the radical symbol here, and I know that I need to take the square root of a positive, or at least a non-negative number, so it's got to be either positive or 0. And if I bring x over, I get that x has to be less than or equal to 5 in order for this to work. Not a problem, that's great. But there is another restriction here, okay, and something that I want you all to consider here. And it has to do, interestingly enough, with the range of a radical. Okay, now I've isolated the radical. A radical can only produce a positive number. So granted, I can only take the square root of a positive or a 0, but the result is always going to be positive or 0 as well, meaning that if the right-hand side has got to be either 0 or positive, so does the left. So the restriction here is also that x plus 2/3 must be greater than or equal to 0. So bring that over and I will get that x must be greater than or equal to negative 2/3. Now watch this. X has to be less than 5, x has to be greater than or equal to negative 2/3, meaning that my overall solution should be somewhere in this little pocket right there between negative 2/3 and positive 5 here. Okay, now let's go to the calculator and solve this thing graphically. Okay, so there are a couple of different ways of doing this. It doesn't really matter what you do here. So I will graph the left side and the right side. So negative 3x plus 6. There's the left side of the equation. Negative 3 square root negative x plus 5 out of the square root plus 8. So there's the left side and the right side. I am going to use zoom number 6 because I've probably played with my window settings and I want it to go back to normal. There's my line. There's my radical. Oh, it kind of stops there. I've got that single solution here. Let's find it. That's the point of intersection. Calculator asks, am I on the first curve? Yeah. Did I jump to the second curve? Uh-huh. And is it okay if I guess x equals 0? Now you can change the guess by moving that around there. It doesn't really matter though. As long as you're relatively close to that point of intersection, whatever guess you get is okay. And I'm getting, rounded to the nearest hundredth, 1.27. 1.27. Okay, so we come back here. Sorry about all that. X equals 1.27. Notice that that is in fact in that domain that I was looking for, less than 5, greater than negative 2/3.